Okay, I am back. Okay, can everyone hear me? Sorry, I had the power go out, and I have UPS, so all my computer equipment was still up. But, yep, okay, Martin, I'll paste the link. Uh, Here we go, indeed, Acelia. Here we go, indeed. Sorry for that. Again, gonna explain what happened. The power went out. I am on UPS, but because I totally have been lazy, I did not put UPS on my what do you call it? On my internet hardware. So as soon as I'm done with the stream, I actually have a spare UPS, and it's in a box. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to put it under my internet software hardware, so that I don't have this problem again. Right? I'm gonna. So if the stream breaks down one more time, we'll call it a night. But hopefully things are just going to work right now, and we'll see how that happens. Okay. My apologies. My apologies. It was very embarrassing. But yeah, let's just keep talking. Remember, folks, I'm on vacation because I'm retired. I can spend all the time I need to chat with you on tablets as much as needed. Okay, let us get back to it. See, it was such a good idea then that the 7 ups. 7 ups. I love it. I love that. Let me show it again. The 7 UPS. I love it. Uh, Nice play on words. And yeah, no escaping. Thank you so much, Cecilia. Yeah, it's fun to chat with you all, right? I retired, by the way, at 53. But yeah, and look, maybe I'll come back and work for Microsoft. I'm just having a lot of fun right now. I joined Microsoft so I could work on digital art and make people help create applications and I did actually work on that for a while at Microsoft. So in a lot of ways, me leaving Microsoft is I'm sort of paying myself to do the job I always wanted to do. So I'm happy, right? Uh, Another theory about why the internet went out is, I think Wacom was just upset at me because of the video I did on the firmware update for the Wacom One 2023 pen tablets, right? And they just had their internet hit squad. Yeah, it is. Maybe it is actually a average Microsoft retire. Lots of people retired at Microsoft young. I'm not one of them. I think in my 50s at the time. Okay, let's see what we got here. So, and again, sorry for the confusion. Sorry for the confusion. We still have a couple of more people want to see. Koyo had one. Let's see. Let me open this in the browser. It's quite a beautiful background there, Koyo. 1, 2, 3 displays. Couple of remotes in there. That looks like, is that a Wacom one and a Huion one, I believe? And a Keycon keyboard. And an iPad. And actually, let me just take a look. Koyo actually wrote down what he has. Oh, where's my darn... There we go. It's Asus ProArt 24-inch Canvas Pro 24 4K with the PW550S pen. Good choice. Keychron K3 V2, Logitech MX Ergo mouse, XP Pen AC19 and Huion KD. Okay, so it wasn't a Wacom, it was an XP Pen. And then let's take a look at the side view here. I like it. So you've got, Koyo, you've got the pen display closer to your face than I normally do. You draw with it this way? Or is that just, you're just looking at it? But I do like the setup. And you've got it all on one arm, it looks like. And where is my, sorry, I got to get, come back to Microsoft and make them create a good trackpad for Windows. That's also a pen tablet. You know, I'd love to do something like that, honestly. I would love that. I think Microsoft seems to have taken a step back from hardware input devices. Like, I think they've stopped making keyboards and mice, which they were famous for. I used Microsoft keyboards and mice for almost 30 years. I think they're just done with that, right? But I'd love that to be true. I'd love them to make... and if I had my fantasy job, honestly, at Microsoft, it would be to help make Microsoft Windows the best place for creatives, right? And, you know, just for the moment, I'll stick towards like people making visual things instead of like audio. But I think there would be so much we could do as part of Microsoft in terms of how color is managed, in terms of how pen displays should just plug in and work even without drivers, in terms of, you know, how we can interoperate and do things. Here's an example. This is actually one of the ideas I had. It's, you know, you can copy and paste a lot of things between apps. Like you can paste text, right? And tables and images. I think we should expand that notion, right? I think we can't paste images quite correctly in the Microsoft Windows clipboard. I'd like to paste other things, like I'd like to be able to paste formatting of things between applications or paste colors, right? Which brings me to another topic. Microsoft Color Picker is awful. Have you ever used the Windows Color Picker? I mean, it works, but like, it's just really awful. But so many things we could do, and I'd like to make Windows just better at handling images, right? And doing the things we need with images. Anyway, I have to put this down and write this down, but that would be sort of my fantasy job, right? And of course, I'd want to make creatives using pens, EMR drawing tablets, work perfectly with Windows. That would absolutely be my fantasy. Okay. Let's see. Where is... Sorry, my mouse is all over the place because the reset of power rearranged my monitors, so I'm going in the wrong places sometimes. Okay, let's see. This is Tablet Kitten. This is the fan art, the Winter 2023 fan art contest results. And it looks like, let's see, where's the one we were looking at? This is it, right? 1,218 voters decided to watch kittens, this is Tablet Kitten, take on a kimono-clad Pippi enjoying some dango, do not know what that means. I have no clue. Dango in the snow, and really, who could blame them? There's a joke to be made here about Mochi and Mocha. Mochi's the ice cream, right? And Mocha is like coffee. But we don't have the heart to make it. Cute text, love it. It looks great. Thank you for sharing that, Tablet Kitten. I do appreciate that. Let's see. Looking for more. Okay, I'm just going through the power outage situation we had. Yeah. Okay. While we wait for anyone else to submit something, I'm going to actually show you a video. Now, the catch here is because we just had the power outage, I don't know what's going to happen, right? Let's see. I'm going to play a video just to test things out because I just was playing it. And if this works, we'll be fine. Okay, so you should hear music in a second. It's one of my favorite songs, by the way. Don't worry, I won't force you to listen to the song. This is just to test the audio. Is it working? I can't hear it myself. So it looks like, let me do a little bit of testing here. Don't switch. Oops. Okay, can you hear that? I think you should be able to. This is kind of I'm gonna wait a little bit. I think this is you're hearing it now. This is a little bit of my old. It's one of the first songs I really remember as a kid, and this is by a guy named Rocky Burnett. And I'm just doing this as a test of the audio. You know, maybe in another stream we can share our favorite music, right? Okay, everyone's hearing the audio. I also used to be a volunteer firefighter, so like dressing up like this is it's very familiar for me, let's just say. Okay, now we did this. I wanted to show, I promised at the beginning of the stream, I would show you Ergo Josh's setup. So let's just take a look. You know, I love Ergo Josh, right? He doesn't post as many videos as he used to, but I love him, and he's got a great voice. Ergo Josh. And he's got a setup here, which I was always like very...
The four most important body parts to learn are the head, the hands, and then...
There's the overclock desktop server. There was... okay, I think this is it. I don't think he's done anything sooner than 2022, so let's just take a look at it. Let's see. Okay. So he's done a couple of these. And so I think there's a couple of things we'll point out here. Not a long video either. We won't watch it literally linearly, but like, I'm going to point out a couple of things here. First of all, it's a very elaborate setup, right? And let me show you my favorite shot here.
2021 Ultimate Studio Tour video.
Let's go back there. Look at this. Right? Okay, Electric has asked a question, so before I continue, let me answer Electric's question. And his question is, please forgive me if it's been asked a gazillion times, but do you consider Intuos Pro 2013 worth getting in 2025? So the short answer is yes. It's an excellent tablet. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's excellent. And it will last forever, okay? The only thing we have to watch out for is that at some point, I don't know when, Wacom will pull driver support for it. I don't expect that to happen tomorrow or in a year, but it's conceivable in 5 years they might do it. Now, if that happens, you're going to have to use, what do they call it? Open Tablet Driver. And on Windows, it can be a little bit of a chore to set up. And like, you have to use plugins and things. But the point I'm saying this here is that if you're willing to realize that they'll drop support for updating drivers, and you're willing to take on the burden one day of using Open Tablet Driver, totally fine choice. Okay? It's a totally good tablet. Lots of people still use it. Lots of people still use Intuos 4. It's an excellent tablet. But I think you'd be safer getting the 2017 Intuos Pros, because it'll be a little bit longer before Wacom drops support from them, right? That's my only comment. And I'm expecting also, once these Intuos Pro 2025 versions come out, you'll have the discounts will be good on eBay, right? Like you'll see people sell. We see lots of people sell basically unused Intuos Pro tablets just because they want the new one, right? So if you do a little research on what's on eBay, you'll find tablets that are essentially unused, right? Okay, let's get back to our Josh. So I just want to take a look at his setup here. And I think this is actually gorgeous, right? He's got a bunch of art books here. He's got this lighting here. I don't know what you call this wooden structure with these, I don't know what this paneling. And then he's got this background. I think this is one of the most intriguing shots of this video. And what an amazing environment he's created for himself. And he's got these plants, right? So I think it's quite beautiful. And then look at this setup, right? You can see he's got an iPad here, and he's got this I don't know what you call it. It's like this stand, but it also works like I think a USB dock, right? And he's got these lights here. I actually have lights like this from BenQ, or is it Benk? I forgot how you say it. They're one of my best purchases, right? Because I keep my room dark, so it keeps things light. I can see my keyboard. Yeah, look at this. It's wild. He puts his monitors on top of that. And look at this streaming setup, right? He's got, again, this light bar to light his face up. There's another camera here. It's really elaborate. Now, I have actually multiple desks. I have one for drawing, one for coding, sort of, and then one for live streaming. This is all I do on this thing, is like live stream. It's just easier for me to have separate desks, but he sort of puts it all together. And then, okay, Celia has a question here, which is, what do you think of the prices for the 2025 Pro Wacom pen tablets? The prices didn't change, right? At least in the United States. I don't know if they changed in other places, but the prices did not change. $500 for Intuos Pro Large is a lot to ask for, right? That's a lot to ask for. But that's, it's weird to say, but in some ways I feel lucky, because given what Wacom did with the new Intuos Cintiq Pros, where they really moved the price up, we escaped that. They just kept the prices the same. Okay, let's find another picture of where Ergo Josh's setup is more clear. See, that light bar. This is the Benk light bar control thing. I use this all the time. And Edbot has made a comment about this setup. In my country, it's next to impossible to have a setup like Josh. It's hard to get all the equipment in your country, Edbot. Let's see. Look at this. I feel like this is super expensive. This entire setup he built.
Color and Light by 3D Total. On the surface of the mat itself,
let's see what this
I have the full-size Apple keyboard and the new black Apple Magic trackpad sitting nicely in their respective Grove-made walnut
He's got
frames.
a special holder for the trackpad.
Where I keep the Park Slope stand by 12 South. I've been using the first version for years, so I was thrilled when they sent over the new design. It's much lighter than the old one and works for multiple different devices. It's still my preferred go-to stand when I want to film on my iPad screen for a YouTube video, or just use it for productivity purposes. I also tend to keep a regular graphics tablet on my desk to use with video editing or just
it's a very busy setup, but he likes putting everything together.
One of the best things about
I couldn't deal
however,
with so much stuff around me,
when I
honestly.
want to eat at my desk, I can simply wrap everything up, put it aside, and have a large, easy to clean surface to place my...
Let's see, we got a comment here. Electric says, in any country, the main issue is to have enough disposable income to have such a setup. Yeah, this is an expensive one. There's no doubt about it. This is a very expensive setup, right? I can't even imagine how much he spent. And he could have spent more, but it's a very fancy setup. And then Celia makes a point here. True, and to be fair, most of the stuff he has in the video was sent to him. Okay, good point. Good point. And Art says, my end game is still a little tilted table where the table is grafted onto it and has basically a massive bezel that everything sits on. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Let's see what else we can learn from Josh. He's just talking about how he's got a very powerful computer as well. It's a bit, like I said, this workspace is a bit busy for me. Let's see if we can find a better overall view of it. Where's that one view? Let's use this one. There's a lot going on here. And again, it would be too much for me, right? One thing that I struggle with is I just hate having cords around and all sorts of little pieces of things around because I'm moving tablets all over the place, right? Because I'm testing things. So this would not work for me, but I think it's beautiful. I like his videos a lot. The way his videos just look, they are good. They just look good, right? And let's see if we can find
strategy for this desk.
There's another guy who I occasionally watch. He's pretty funny. Mark, I think it's Burnett or Brunet. And I think he actually has a setup here in one of his. Let me close Josh here. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's called Setup. Yeah, I think this is it. I don't think he has a newer one than this. But let's just take a look at here. I think he has more of a...
Oh, hi.
And Mark is a very funny
teacher,
guy, by the
a
way.
professional artist. And in this week's video, I'm going to show you
around
my
before we get to Mark, Arch just posted a video of the setup he's... Oh, wow. That is wild, Arch. Okay, where is the video? Sorry, let me close. Let me shrink Mark. And is this it? No. Let's try it again. Whoa, look at this. We'll take a look at Nizio. We'll take a look at Bernante. I totally forgot about him. I love him as well. That's wild. That is crazy. And it looks, I think Archie was saying this is custom, right? I'm intrigued by setups like this. The only thing is, where do you put your stuff? I mean, look, I've got my cup of water. Where do you put stuff? And where do you put your pen so it doesn't fall down? It looks like he's got a little bit of a ledge there. So that's interesting. It looks massive. It looks heavy. I'm intrigued by it. But I don't know how practical it would be for me. Right? And Art says he fabbed that most of it himself. And the keyboard, look, if I'm thinking about how this sits in front of me, the keyboard's up here. So what does he do? He doesn't type like this, right? He's got to bring the keyboard down or something. The practicality of it for me, I don't know how it would work. But I love the fact that he has a million keys everywhere. He's a keypad here, a keypad here, a keypad here. Looks to be a mouse with the ball. It's intriguing. It's really intriguing. Yeah. Yeah, drawing only setup. That's right. It would not be useful for other things. And then Study with Prasad says, add a treadmill. Yeah, that's what would. That's the only thing missing at this point. And yeah, Edbot says it's beautifully chaotic. I would agree with that. Beautifully chaotic. And then somehow it feels like some chains to keep tied to the desk wouldn't really be. They're, chain the artist to the desk to ensure maximum productivity. Mihao says it looks like a medical Medical stuff. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like something that would be near an MRI machine or a CAT scan machine, right? Okay. Everything is wild. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, wow. It looks okay. Celia sees me. I am here. Wow, what a crazy night. What's funny is, okay, in Seattle, when there's weird stuff that goes on, it's usually, you know it's going to happen because it's super windy or it's just raining a lot and with some wind. But today was very peaceful. And I heard some light wind, which is very normal. So the fact that things have just been crazy is a little wild. Interesting. I'm not sure why you got a notification for this channel, but not for others, Cecilia. Yeah, it's weird. So what a wild. Okay, who knows? Yes, I am in Seattle. That is correct. So I'm gonna just make sure people. Let me go to Google. Well, let me get. Oh shit. Let me get Chrome here. I just want to double check if my. Not that one. Come on, buddy. New 7 window. Here. I just want to make sure that I'll give people the stream link again. What a wild event. Okay, so it's part of React part. Oh, I see. Actually, let me try something. I wonder which one I'm on right now. Okay, it looks like I'm on the second one, so that makes sense. Let's get back to Discord. Okay, I'm on the second one. Thank you. $1 tip for the swear jar. Nice. Okay, we are. Who knows who's going to join us back from? I've got nothing to do. Right, tomorrow I'm just going to meet a friend. So I can. Time is nothing for me. Okay, so where are we in? We wanted Mark Burnett. That's where we wanted to go to. Okay, so we're gonna find Mr. Burnett or Brunet. He's Canadian, so I want to say it. Sounds like he would say it with in a French way. Oh, I see someone has posted actually a setup. So let's get that setup showing to people. Oh, you can't see what I'm showing, of course. So, demo screen 1, is that it? Yeah, okay, here we go. Woo. Borodante, yes. Okay, listen, just because it's windy I'll give this one thing. If it happens one more time, I'll just end the stream, okay? Because it's getting too crazy to restart it every 5 minutes. And I'll do another stream a different day. I mean, I'll continue this stream. I'm just saying if we have an outage one more time, let's just call it, right? And we'll find a better day for Seattle, okay? And I agree. Nizio, we will not forget about Borodante. And yeah, Mark is very cool. I like Mark. I like his work. I like his art style. And I love that he shares so much, right? Okay. What do we want to do? We want to find Mark Brunet. Mark Brunet. And now remember, we don't know if the audio is going to work, so we're gonna try a couple of options here. Let me just play one video from him. Let's just check the audio. Okay, you're not hearing anything, so let me go to my other.
I'll go over what is
okay, you should be able to hear Mark. I think it's working.
Coloring method.
So now we got to find his
so how to go from this to this
setup.
And this method actually works in any painting software.
Let's see. I think this is the one. I found Mark when during COVID times. I had not known about him before then.
Hi, I'm Mark, an art teacher.
Mark also has a very
and in this
funny
video,
sense of humor.
I'm going to show you
right.
around my office, the ultimate YouTuber.
So okay, let's just stop there. Okay, let's take a look at this setup. Here it is. First of all, it's just popping with color, right? And yes, Electric. I know you're talking to Arch, but I would say, yeah, when we're watching something art related, it counts as art. Absolutely. Okay, Mihao. Yeah, I think just for context, Mihao had introduced us to Mark's 30 Days to Draw a Face, and I think at the end, I don't think it was going the direction you wanted, Mihao. Yeah, I totally get that. I quit earlier and I tried to catch up to you and whoever else was doing it, but yeah, I didn't feel like it was going in the direction I hoped. Right. Let's see. Now, you're more of a Celia, you're more of a 3D. You're more into that. Okay, but let's look at Mark's and a couple of things I noticed. Number one, it is popping with color, which is good, right? Everyone wants to see a lot of color. Number two, it looks cozy as hell, right? Number three, we saw Ergo Josh have like a lot of stuff. There's a lot of, just the desk was packed this way, this way, this way. There was material. Now, Mark has a lot of things too, but not quite as much. The thing that I feel like I notice a lot about him is he also, though, like Ergo Josh, is combining streaming with his art, right? Like this is meant to do both, right? So that is something that I think they do share in common. And I think Arch has a comment about Mark here. Mark is very beginner-oriented, and he keeps doing the same video over and over, which is all fine and well, but it's more about advertising his program. And now that okay, so you feel it's too much focused on what he's trying to sell. See, I don't watch Mark's stuff very often. I sort of dip into his channel as needed. One thing I know, I feel like Mark seems to be really good with what do you call it, anatomy. I don't know anything about anatomy, right? The other thing I noticed, he's got two desks. He's got one for working and another one here. I'm not sure what he does with this one. There's no computer there as well. And you can see some of his anatomical figure things here. I do like how he's got these lights everywhere. I think it's kind of cool. And let's just move on a little bit.
Workplace. The rest of the actual cameras that I use, I can cover quite
a
a big
there.
area of my office. I can also have the camera mounted up like this, pointing down.
And he's got his overhead camera
that I can film myself as
which
I draw.
That's been a
done
real
that yet,
challenge
but,
for me to
it'll
work
probably
on
in the
as
future.
well.
And
Getting
the
it
second
overhead.
camera that I have here in hand is also an OSRP, and I have them permanently plugged into power with dummy batteries. And both of these
He's
cameras
just
are
talking
connected
about how
via
he plugs it in.
HDMI to the. Nice. Oh, real quick, something I forgot to mention, but I have this.
He's also got a
mic
very
switch
complex
here. But all
audio
this does
setup.
really is just it turns off and on the audio.
Like way
so
more
you just press
complex
it to
than I
mute
do.
the audio. What's nice
I'm not
about
really
this
an
is that
audio
you don't
person.
hear
I don't
like
know
a
much
clicking
about
noise
it.
or
I just
anything. It's
get it
very
to work.
silent, and this is
And
all
that's
I
about
use
it.
to mute the sound, so I don't have to do anything in the software like this. Because as it gets more and more bald, it's gonna get. Here's
Let's see if there's anything else in here.
it's,
Art school.
on its own arm, and that might seem a little.
Oh
silly,
yeah, this is
but
cool. This is
works
cool. I remember when he talked about this here. Let me fast forward a little bit. He just showed it a second ago, and I skipped. Okay, let's try it again. I'm trying to find this little stand he showed, which I thought was really intriguing as hell. Okay, you can see it right here. He's got what looks like an Ergotron, looks like an LX stand here, but he's got his keyboard mounted to it. That's a really sturdy stand for a keyboard, right? But I was intrigued by it because I've never seen anyone have their keyboard with a monitor arm so they can easily move it around. Now, I don't know how sturdy it is, but that is something quite interesting. Okay, and then what else can we see from his channel? Yeah, there's the keyboard. You can see it right there. Sorry, the keyboard's right here. And there's that, I think it's an Ergotron LX, which is not the most stable one, but pretty stable overall. But at least it keeps the keyboard, where he can keep it close to him if he needs it. Art school. That looks like a Wacom, a Pro 16 of some kind. Not the latest one, but the one maybe before that. Another camera. What do we notice here? He's got one of those desks you can move up and down. Okay, but his general thing right here, actually, let me go forward a little bit and I'll go back. Let's see anything interesting. I did want to comment on something, his layout here. Okay, let's take a look at the beginning because he had a nice photo there. Sorry. I'm trying to get to a nice photo. Yeah, here we go. This is good. So it looks like a Cintiq 32, I would say, from the size. So pretty big. This is too much for me. A 27, Nizio? Yeah, you're right. I think it's probably 27. Those bezels are big, and now I'm a bezel lover now. I've tried this, and the problem is for me, maybe I'd like it better now, but you have to dedicate your desk to this. Like, you're not easily going to be doing other topics, right? Which makes sense that he has another desk next to him for it. But for me, it's not just the fact that desk is taken over. The other problem, or I shouldn't say problem, it's just a choice. I find it odd to have something right in front of me like that. Right? Just to have this huge device right in front of me. I find that weird. I like more distance. Now, part of that is just, I don't know, maybe personal space. And part of that is also, remember I told you about my eyes. As you get older, your eyes have a harder time focusing on what's near to you. And so having something close is like hard, right? I feel like it strains me a little bit more. But I think this is a nice setup for what he's trying to do. And since he streams himself drawing, see, I don't do that. I don't stream myself drawing. I mean, when I do draw, it's just to illustrate how a pen is working. But I think it's a beautiful setup, actually. But I think it wouldn't work for me. Okay, let's try, who's the other one? Borodante.
Take a look at that a little bit more. In a couple minutes, to my right, I have my second desk here, usually my wife's desk or the kid.
Okay, let's find Borodante. How do I get to search here? Yep, there we go. Borodante. Boro CG, that's right. That's his channel. I forgot the name.
All right, let's reopen. Oh my god, that is so gross.
And then, okay, there's a mobile setup. Oh, okay. This is a new one. I don't think I've even seen this. My drawing setup that doesn't suck in 2024. Okay, so this is relatively recent since it's 3 months ago.
So, if you...
Actually, before I do anything else, I need to take a quick bio break. So I'll be back in just a couple of minutes, okay? So I'll just set it on my waiting music. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Sorry, I drank a lot of water. Okay, now we're at Borodante. Let's just see. I'll put on my headphones and let's see if we can just find some interesting things about what he's doing. Martin, is that the video you'd rather me look at? The Borodante Why Your Drawing Setup Sucks?
You just want to draw on it, it'll just... Hi guys, my name is Borodante, and welcome back to my drawing setup. And I guess this is a quick sequel to the old video called This Is Why Your Drawing Setup Sucks. And I got a few of my older toys back, including this 27-inch monitor here. So as you guys can see, things are pretty clean. The new ultimate setup for me. Like, I have the most pixels staring at me at all times, and the whole thing is very versatile, and you can do a lot of things with it.
Tell me if the audio's
really
interfering.
cool. And I generally wanted to give you guys
yeah,
a little update.
Yeah, Celia, we'll wrap it
up.
up. Let's just take a look at Borodante.
I really like the vertical layout of my monitor thing, but
and I'll just check the chat to see if anything else has anyone else particular
at the moment.
I'm just trying to find good pictures so we can see what he's got here.
Monitor.
I think this summarizes it. This picture actually does a good job, I think, of showing it. I think this is a Canvas Pro 19 he's got. And he's got it on a monitor arm as well. And he's got a pretty simple setup. I actually like it a lot. I just don't like drawing a pen display so much, right? But other than that, I like it. He's got a toolbox. You know, I'm a huge fan of that. So this 2-monitor setup is actually my favorite for drawing. Now, I do it 2 ways. Either I've got these duplicated, so I'm seeing the same thing. Because sometimes I'm actually just looking up here, and when I need to make a careful stroke, I'll look down. Or sometimes if I'm watching a movie, I'll be drawing here on the main monitor. I mean, my hand is on the tablet, but the movie's actually playing down here. Or the blog or the music or something, right? But often I have these duplicated because I just like to have the option of seeing when I need to and looking up when most of the time. Yeah, the way he said the intuitive. Actually, I'll show that. I think that's the drawing setup sucks. Let me open that one up.
So we have this. This is where the iPad goes. Cover at I believe this.
Yeah, this was so wild.
So
when I remember
actually
when I saw
use a huge piece of plastic used to cover advertisement banners.
He found plastic, some random plastic, and covered it to protect it, which is wild. Number one, right? Celia, it's interesting. Do CG people have simpler setups? I hadn't thought about that. I'll have to see if I notice more of that. The other thing Borodante does here, which let me see if I can show it. He notice he actually added a stand to his Intuos 3, right? He actually drilled holes in the back. He mentions that later, and he was actually a little concerned he might have broken something, but he added holes and screwed in this stand. So that's kind of wild. Now, to be fair, it's wild because he had to do it. It's actually a super cool idea. And I know Wacom doesn't make tablets this big, but they should absolutely, it's a good idea. It's actually a really good idea. Okay. Anything else from Borodante? He's showing was the drafting table. Oh, this thing. I wasn't too sure about this one. I don't like these kind of stands. Number one, he's got his iPad on it. I'll try it though. I'll try something like this, but I just found it weird looking, right? That seemed like it was too unstable. But, he tried it, I didn't, right? So it's an interesting option. Okay, and then let me just check if anyone else has a setup. Other than that, I will here, Celia has one comment. Let me just make sure. I'll show it to you. And then let's call the stream. And all right, let's see. Actually, Art has a little comment. Tyler Edlin. I actually don't know the name. One of the least BSC art channels on YouTube, mostly focused on drawing towards decent artists who want to break into big. Okay, interesting. I'll check him out. I think I've seen the name, but I've never watched. And let's show Celia's setup here real quick, and then we'll just end the stream after this. Okay. It's clean, and that's the first thing I like, right? And nicely photographed as well. Dreamily photographed. Nice. And you don't do art on this one, Celia, or you just use this for normal computing stuff? Oh, but it's very clean. I do like it. And let's just take a quick look at Borodante's mobile setup since we have it here.
Exactly the same way. And inside news, like local news, are...
That's wild. So he's got the laptop flipped, or folded out, I should say. That is wild. That was mostly for work, Celia? Okay, coding. That's a wild setup. I don't know if I'd ever do something like this. I'd be too freaked out by having the keyboard in that position. Okay, I'll check out the details. Okay. Anyway, I think we've reached a natural conclusion. Koya. Sorry, Koya. Let me search for it again. Can you? It's in the chat. We'll look at that one last thing, and then we'll end the stream. Where is it? Where's my Discord? There we go. Let me scroll up. It was Hamada. So let me search for Hamada. This one. No, we looked at that. Yeah, I covered this. Or did you mean something else? Maybe you meant these photos. Wow. Seeing a human next to these Makes it much more obvious how big the setup is. That is wild. Somehow I didn't appreciate it. It's a full album. I see what you're saying. Let me see if I can find it here. There, this is what you meant. Whoa. Man, that's a tighter space for that setup than I imagined. He's really locked in there. Interesting choice of chair, too. I've been thinking about getting one of these that sits higher to see if I would like that better. Wow. Oh, it looks like he put some real effort into this. This is complicated stuff. I like it. Oh, there's more. Okay, let's take a quick look. What's he doing here? Oh, look at this. Oh, he's really hacking around this concept, right? Oh, he's raising it now? Wild. And he's got a cat. We always need a cat. Look at this. Cool idea for a desk, actually. I got to research this one, too. Okay. I think that's it. Even I'm getting a bit tired. Thank you, Koyo, for pointing out that album. I didn't realize there was an album there. I just saw that one or two pictures. Okay, everyone, thanks for your time. I really appreciate your patience. I know we had 2 different technical issues rise up because of the windiness in Seattle. But as always, you stuck with me and a lot of energy in the stream. And this is the longest stream I've had. It's actually 2 hours and 50 minutes, which breaks my previous record of like 5 minutes. But anyway, thanks again for your time. And I'll do another live stream next week. If you have ideas on topics, let me know. Just let me know. Okay, everyone, have a great night.